What if I told you that one of nature's smallest predators has a secret weapon so effective it looks like magic? A hypnotic dance that freezes prey in their tracks? Picture this. A rabbit sits frozen in a field, completely mesmerized as a slender, brown creature approaches. The rabbit could easily escape, it's much larger and faster, but instead it stays perfectly still, almost as if under a spell. This isn't fantasy. This is the everyday hunting strategy of one of nature's most underestimated predators. The weasel. We often think of hypnosis as something from stage shows or movies, but in the animal kingdom, it's a real survival tool. And the weasel has perfected it into an art form. To understand how this works, we need to look beyond the myth and into the science of what's really happening when a weasel seems to hypnotize its prey first. Let's clear up a common misconception. Weasels aren't casting spells or using supernatural powers. What they're doing is exploiting a deeply ingrained survival instinct present in many prey animals. When faced with sudden, unpredictable movement, some animals don't run, they freeze. It's called tonic immobility, and it's a last-ditch defense mechanism that's hardwired into their nervous system. The weasel has learned to trigger this response intentionally. Think of it like this. When you're walking through a forest and a branch suddenly snaps, you might jump. But if something moves in a way that's completely confusing, erratic, zigzagging, unpredictable, your brain might short-circuit for a second. That's the window the weasel exploits. Now, let's break down exactly how the weasel's hypnotic dance works. It starts with spotting the prey. Weasels have excellent hearing and a sharp sense of smell, but it's their movement that makes the difference. Instead of charging straight forward, a hunting weasel will often perform what scientists call a weasel war dance, a series of leaps, twists, and sudden direction changes. This isn't random. It's a calculated performance designed to overwhelm the prey's ability to predict what comes next. Prey animals like rabbits, voles, and birds rely on reading an attacker's trajectory to know which way to flee. But when the weasel moves in a chaotic, non-linear pattern, the prey's brain can't compute an escape route. Confusion sets in. And in that moment of uncertainty, the prey's ancient freeze response kicks in, but the dance is only part of the story. The weasel's physical form plays a crucial role too. These animals are long, slender, and incredibly flexible. They can twist their bodies midair, change direction instantly, and move in ways that seem to defy physics. This allows them to maintain the erratic movement for much longer than other predators. There's also the element of surprise. Weasels are small, often no bigger than a man's hand, which means they can approach undetected until the last moment. By the time the prey realizes what's happening, the dance has already begun and the window for escape has closed. What's fascinating is that this behavior isn't just instinct, it's learned and refined. Young weasels practice these movements during play, honing the skills they'll need to survive. Adults adjust their technique based on the type of prey. With birds, the dance might include more vertical leaps. With ground-dwelling rodents, it might involve rapid side-to-side motions. It's a flexible, adaptable strategy. Now, you might be wondering, why doesn't the prey just run? The answer lies in evolutionary trade-offs. Freezing can work against distant predators by making the prey less visible. But against a close-range specialist like the weasel, it backfires. The weasel has turned the prey's own defense mechanism into a trap. This hunting method is incredibly efficient. Weasels have high metabolisms and need to eat frequently, sometimes up to half their body weight in a single day. They can't afford long chases or failed hunts. The hypnotic approach conserves energy and increases success rates, especially when targeting prey much larger than themselves, but the story doesn't end there. Scientists believe this behavior may be more common in the mustelid family than we once thought. Ferrets, stoats, and minks have been observed using similar tactics. It's a shared ancestral skill that has been fine-tuned by each species to fit their environment and prey. What's even more remarkable is how this behavior challenges our understanding of animal intelligence. We often associate complex hunting strategies with large-brained predators like wolves or orcas. But here's a small-brained animal using what looks like psychological manipulation to survive. It reminds us that intelligence in nature comes in many forms. Today, researchers are still studying the precise neurological mechanisms behind this phenomenon. How exactly does the weasel's movement disrupt the prey's decision-making process? Is it visual overload? Sensory confusion? The answers could teach us not only about animal behavior, but about how all brains process threat and movement. The weasel's hypnotic hunt is more than just a curiosity. It's a brilliant example of evolutionary innovation. In a world where size and strength often dominate, the weasel found a different path. It turned confusion into a weapon, and in doing so, secured its place in ecosystems around the world. So the next time you see a weasel, or even a video of one, dancing erratically in a field, remember what you're witnessing. It's not magic. It's millions of years of evolution distilled into a few seconds of motion. A life-or-death performance where the smallest predator on stage often wins. What other animal behaviors seem like magic but have a scientific explanation? Share your favorite mysterious creature facts in the comments. We might feature them in a future video.